about 2012 that we were able to get a transmission path. Initially, Western had given KMEA, Kansas Municipal Energy Agency, authorization to prepare a group integrated resource plan for the 6 cities in the power pool in which we participate. In May, Western came back to KMEA and said, no, each city will have to submit an individual plan because you don't have unified planning on both the demand and supply side. Okay, I think we're done. The purposes of a energy resource plan is to meet the objectives of the Act by incorporating demand-side management, or DSM, into the planning process. These include energy efficiency, load management. Example of load management would be devices where you contract with your customers, where you could literally control their air conditioners in peak periods to reduce your demand. Use of renewable energy and conservation. As an aside, we do, as part of the KMEA power supply study that's in progress, we are asking them to look for 2 megawatts of wind power for us. We reviewed the concept with the, actually we can hold on this, but we reviewed the IRP with the Electric Utility Advisory Board in July 3. They, bear with me, their direction was to prepare a plan that was conservative, would allow time for us to basically plan, to develop a plan, would allow us to phase in any budgetary impacts over several budget cycles. After the meeting, we went and met with city departments, Gardner Energy, Public Works, Community Development, Administration, and Facilities Management. The original plan called for submittal of a completed IRP to Western in October. However, the initial requirement was they'd give us an extension until July 1, not being able to meet the public involvement requirements. We basically were proposing a fairly conservative schedule. We had written them in July. I got a response in mid-July, and they said, no, you can have an extension, but you must submit by September 1st. So we met with the city administrator, we revised the schedule, checked your schedule, streamlined the public comment period to begin on July 30th, closed on August 12th. By the way, no comments were received. We reviewed the final draft, which you have before you with the EUAB last week, and now we've presented it to you. The attached document does meet the direction of the EUAB. It includes the expertise of our consultants, 21st Century Management consultants, Greg Wilson, and then he was assisted by Tony Turner, who's the retired KMEA Finance Director. Both of them have been involved in preparing these documents with Western. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Greg to walk you through the basically the action plan, which is Section 8. It's the meat of the document. There's a lot of information in it, but this basically tells you, Western, what we plan to do over the next 5 years. With that, I'll give it to Greg.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, David. My name is Greg Wilson. Nice to meet you all tonight. You've had an exciting evening, and I haven't been to one of these for a while, so it was enjoyable. As David said, the meat of the plan is the action plan. I hope you've had an opportunity to review the document. If you have, I can answer questions on any of the other sections. But what I like to do to make it as brief as possible is just discuss what you're committing your city to when you sign this document. Okay? As it says here, the action plan describes the actions the city will take to implement an integrated resource plan. It will state the time period the plan covers, discusses current actions you're currently doing and procedures in place to reevaluate the future need for resources. A summary action the city expects to take to accomplish the goals of the plan. You have to provide milestone evaluations during the implementation of the plan, and you have to estimate the savings in energy, cost-benefit ratios, and prove to Western that the items that you're proposing in the plan will produce the results you suggested. So what we've done is under the next, if you can, yeah, thank you. Under year one, and as David indicated, we're a little bit tardy. The original plan was supposed to be in on April 1st. Because of the situation with KMBA, they gave them till May 1st. They rejected their approach. Then they gave us till July 1st. We requested another extension. They finally said, okay, you have until the September 1st, but you need to get it to us. So we're kind of already halfway through the first year of the plan. So what we're suggesting that year one takes what you do in year one is, and really I've got the point 1 and 2 backwards. You really need to select a program administrator first so that you can kind of start implementing some of the suggestions that we have here. But you're going to have to do an evaluation of any current demand-side management programs the city is undertaking. A good example is LED lighting, street lighting. That's one of the things we're currently doing. I know in 2011 you hired Burns & Mac to do a facility analysis of energy, and you haven't implemented all the features of that particular study, but that is one area that you can sure focus on. It's already been money spent and maybe help incorporate. You need to look at what other entities are doing. How are other people doing these IRPs, and what are the best, what we could consider best practices? And the administrator that that's retained to do this needs to get up to speed on these items. A couple of low-hanging fruit type things are energy education. I know that prior, when a new customer came to the building to get their electric turned on, they would be handed an energy efficient pamphlet and said, here's how you can save energy. Well, I would suggest maybe as a first year program, that would be something that you might want to try to re-implement. There could be other low-hanging fruit like energy audits for homes. There's an issue there with costs, who pays for it? And so those are issues that if you can do a cost-benefit analysis and determine that if you can save on electricity that the utility buys, some of those savings could go to help subsidize the energy audit. So those are things that need to be analyzed and looked at in the first year. Year two, if you could turn it to year two, thank you. Basically, year two is going to be taking the information from year one and coming back to the council. The 15 budget's already been established, so there's nothing we can do as far as introducing funding programs in 2015 budget, but for the 2016 budget cycle, they should come back to you, the program administrator / team, whatever's put together, and come to the council with recommendations for this 2016 budget cycle so that you can see what kind of commitment, financial commitment, and personnel resources are going to be committed. That's what would happen in year two. And you also have to, in year two, send something to Western and tell them what you're doing. They want an annual update of what's been proposed in the plan and what you've done to implement what the proposals are. Finally, in years 3 through 5, as it says, this is be used to review what has been done in the next 6 months and 2016 budget cycle, what we report to Western, and any modifications that we may want to include in the initial report that we've provided them today. They should be making reports to this council and to the EUAB board. And finally, in the 3rd and 4th years, the stakeholders should be brought back together again, and a new kind of forward-looking plan. What I consider this to be is a plan on how to implement a plan. That's kind of because you've not done this before. And so the next 5-year period will be more active in the sense that you will be trying to implement programs that are producing the results of energy savings and conservation that is required under the Western contract. And so I think Dave, you can go on, is going to